When I was very young, I always fell in love with books. So I've been collecting books since I have memory. I have a huge, large collection of books. I have a big fight with my wife about this. I have like 10,000 books, which is an amazing amount of books. And photography came out to me because I like visuals. I like architecture, I like art, I like photography. And then I started collecting photo books. Basically, when I started, it was sort of a big book about, let's say, Irving Penn, or fantastic photos, or Avedon, for instance. And then more and more I get collecting books, and then I started to move into direction of photo books, not just big books about photographers, but photo books. And that's how we started. It just happened something naturally. I started at the beginning as a scientific and technical publisher because my grandfather founded a company that did books on scientific and technical uh, basis. And in 1999, we created RM together with my brother Javier about visual books, mainly photo books. I think we are in a moment of transition. Many books that are published actually will disappear. Most of them, bueno, many have disappeared. Like for instance, I cannot imagine that someone is publishing right now an encyclopedia because you have everything in the internet. So these fields have completely disappeared. In terms of photo books, the photo books are really, it's a market that it's developing a lot right now. There's a lot of interest, but there's also a lot of investigation on what's going on with the digital book on photography. And there are cutting edge publishers like, let's say, Michael Mack, that it's doing a lot of efforts in this direction. So we don't know what's going to be the outcome, if there is or not a large enough market to put a lot of energy on this. But I believe there's going to be like two different things, like a digital book and the object as a book, and both will work very well in the case of photo books. Well, my role in the masterclass is basically to tell the students how to do book, the process of making a book from the very beginning to the concept. I mean, I'm talking about the conceptualization of the book to the sequencing of the book, the editing, and then the design of the book, the printing, the marketing, and the selling of the book, so they can have an idea. Because these days you have many choices. You can publish yourself your book. You can go to a publisher. You can distribute yourself your book. You can use the distribution, worldwide distribution. I mean, there are many choices, and most of these students, what I've seen is that they're really interested in the form of a book for the work to be distributed. So that's my role, to teach them, or to more than teach, it's explain them the different options they face. I think right now the photo book is the main tool for photographers. More and more, what we are seeing is that photographers do a good book, and then after that, it follows exhibitions, the presence in galleries, in photo festivals. I mean, it's becoming very, very important. It's a very democratic tool. It's absolutely inexpensive in a way because you do a large print run. If you can sell the book, I mean, you can distribute it worldwide, and then you have a global audience. So things are changing a lot. And also, the book is becoming an artwork. That's something that it was not seen as an artwork before. But if you see, for instance, what happened with, let's say, Lee Friedlander, for instance, or Daido Moriyama, or Araki, or Stephen Gill, or many others photographers, you see that the book is the main issue for them, not the exhibition. Because when they take photos, they're thinking about a book. They're thinking about a narration. There's a narrative on the books. So the piece is the book, not the exhibition. But then you do the book and you do the business with the exhibition, because if your book gets a lot of attention, then you can sell the prints. That's what happened, for instance, last year with Christina de Miedel on the Afronauts, which was a fantastic book, a great book. I mean, she couldn't make a living with the photography, but then he did a great book, and after that, everything started to flow. I think, I mean, this is the second day on the masterclass, and what I see is the strong thing about the masterclass is that students can have a lot of information from different fields. Because we have here, for instance, the New York Times editor of photography, we have photographers, I'm a publisher, you have many people from different fields, so you can really have a feeling of many things that surround the world of photography. I mean, I've been in other workshops, but I think this workshop summarizes everything in a really nice way. I think most of these people, these students, these photographers, because they're not students, they're photographers already, and they're working, and they will get a lot of information that it would be really difficult to get because it comes from different fields, and it comes from people from Australia, the US, Mexico. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity, I think, because in these places, what you get is not just what you get inside, but you get after that, because you get a relation, you start emailing up and down with all the things. So really nice things tend to happen after a week of work, because you develop a friendship, you develop a way of work, and you get to know people.